All right, guys, welcome back. Welcome back to the second video of the series, the second and last video of the series. It was a short series, that's for sure. I'm gonna try not to bore you guys with too much content in this video. I'm gonna go real quick so that you guys can see just um, the basic concepts of the strategy, but visually, right? As I mentioned in the first video. So we have NQ, we have ES, we have the both charts right here, and we are at the 9th of October 2025, right? Okay, so what is the first thing we do is we mark out our levels. So let's say, forget about price action here. What we're going to be focusing on is everything behind and the first 5 minute candle here. So first we go to previous day, and the previous day was um, it was the 8th. So what we're going to do is we're going to take those levels. We're going to take the low and the high of the previous day. Same thing on ES. Because why? Because they're correlating pairs, and we need to know what ES is doing. We need to know what NQ is doing, and to see how they react to one another. So we have our high here. We have our low here. Let me just place that a little better, right? And there you go. Now, where do we go from here? And I forgot to mention this in the other video. I usually jump to the 1 hour chart, and then from there, I look for different areas, uh, like high and lows that can affect my trade. So this is the 9th, so we're trading here. So high and low, that would have affected me, and usually these highs and lows end up being for example, like previous session lows or highs of Asian or London. So let's say, for example, on that day, I would have probably taken this as a very important level, so that would have been a low. But what would that would have been? Would have been my um, it would have been my Asian low, and it was already taken out by London. So that's the example that I was telling you guys. It was already taken out by London. Now, whereas that next low would be probably around here. So that's my um, London. That's my London low. Now, my previous day candle was swept here in Asian session. So I need to make sure that I put Asian session high there, and I take off my previous day high candle. Why? Because this is now the area where price is going to want to go towards. So this is considered Asian session high as well. Now we are going to also put in Asian session high, which is around here. And if we go on a smaller time frame, let's go back to the 5 minute, for example. This is what we kind of see. So we have 3 a.m. we have our high of London right here. Our low of London is right here. Asian session low was already swept by London low, so we don't consider that as a level where we want to go towards. And where was previous day lows? Previous day lows were all the way down here, see? That's how far down they were. So that's not a level that we're probably going to go hunt anyways. And I do the same thing on ES. So let's just go straight to the 5 minutes so that I'm not wasting any of your guys' time. So here's the session highs and lows. Let's check it out. So where are we? This is the 9th. So right here, okay, the previous day low is around here. Previous day high as well on ES, which is not a coincidence, was swept as well. So we're going to eliminate that, and we're only going to put our Asia high as our level. Here now, which is curious here, is that Asian low on ES wasn't swept by London. So that's why we're going to have both of our levels there. So we're going to have Asia and London here. And we are going to have, for example, our London high, which is exactly where where's our London high? This is 230. Our London high, we're in here. So this would be our London high right up here. That's our London high right there. And usually I mark these out very clearly for myself. So let's say I put here Asia high. Then I go here and I say London high. And also, like, let's say I go on if I go on the 1 hour chart and I see a high that's not London or Asia high, then I will mark it out. So let's say if I go on the 1 hour again, let's go back, and I see like a low that could be swept like this, then I put it there, right? And you see that it swept it, right? But that we'll go back to that later. And I usually put on that day, I'll put on that line, I'll just put L, so that I know it's a low, and it's a low that there could be a lot of liquidity in that low. So let's say we would have had all areas marked out. This is the 10th, so this is not it. This is our 9th. So let's put the chart a little bit bigger so you guys can see. All right, all my levels are marked out, and I'll show you exactly the trade that I took on this day, on the 9th. I remember it. If I'm not mistaken, I do remember that. So let's say we have all our levels marked out. Here's the 9th. Now, all of that is done. Market opened, right? So we've done all our prep. We've got all the highs, all the lows set. What is left to do now is we take the high and the low of our first 5-minute candle of market open on both ES and NQ. Here we have our high and our low. And what I usually do after that is I jump right away to the 1-minute chart. So let's go all the way back. My bad. Let's go all the way back to, Jesus, it's far away. Let's go all the way back, and now we have everything set, right? So I will show you guys multiple trades that you could have taken with my sort of strategy, right? So let's go on the 1 minute here, and let's check her out. Now, all right, now we're all set. Now, let's say price here broke the range, and let's say, what was this? This was London lows. So I am very cautious of entering on this next candle, right? So let's say this was 940. I go here. What did we do at 940? We were still in the range. We were still in our opening range on ES. So I have two reasons why not to take this trade. First, we are at an area where there is London lows right there. And also on ES, we haven't even broken the range yet, right? So I'm patient. I'm waiting. I'm waiting for either price to come back and retest or anything else like that. So what does price do here on NQ? Okay, it goes down and it tests the midpoint right here. What time is this? 9:51. We go here at 9:51. Where is price on 9:51? We are around here. We have broken the range. Okay, so we've broken the range. We're going down. But why am I not taking a trade on NQ either as we're going down? Because on ES, we have London and Asian lows resting in this area. So let's say NQ kept going. It kept going down, and on ES, we completely disrespected London and Asian high and low. So what am I looking for now? Now I'm looking for an entry on this candle right here, which is the 952 candle. Here, where's my 952 candle? It's right here. We're in an area where it's pretty much safe to enter. So in this situation, I'm definitely looking for shorts. Now, where is the area I'm going to go hunt, right? So where are lows that I can go hunt? So there is low here, there is low here. There is different areas where I can go and hunt it, for example, on ES, right? On NQ, do we have those same sort of levels? We should, and we do. So we have lows around here. There's a higher low around here. Okay, another one down here. So those are levels where price, we can go hunt. We can definitely go and hunt those areas. I'm gonna take that, it's too low. So we could go and hunt these areas. So let's say we would have entered on this 952 candle, which was around here. Let's say I go for a short on this candle right here. Where am I putting my stop? I'm putting my stop right at the range, right? I'm putting it right at the range. And what am I hunting? I'm hunting that low, right? There you go. Perfect trade. We would have hit TP, right? And on ES, the same thing, right? If we would have entered there on this candle right here, here it would have been a different stop. We probably would have put a stop around here, a very respectful area, and we could have hunted this area right here. Now, let's say we didn't have areas to go hunt in here, for example, all right? So I'm just going to give you this as an example, but I wouldn't have done it in this circumstance because I did have areas where I could go hunt. But let's say I use the Fibonacci tool, right? So Fibonacci tool, I have 1, 0.5, which is the mid-range of the orb, and then 0, and right here. So once again, this is an area where price is is very likely to go once it breaks the orb. Same thing here on ES. Watch, you'll see. It's an area where price tends to go almost 100% of the time once we break the range. Now, as I said in my other video, the -2, which was the -200% and -250%, which are right here, is an area where price likes to bounce out of. And it did exactly that. Watch. Came in, didn't like this area, bounced off, right? And now it will be very rare that we go and hunt this 400 zone, right? So look how far it's down. And I don't think during the day, look, we didn't even go towards it, right? So, but usually, let's say if price would have kept going and kept breaking, then it most definitely would have went towards this area. But because we bounced off this area, that means it's going to be an area where we're going to bounce off of it again, right? And you see how price rejects this 200 to 2.5 area. But I didn't really necessarily need the Fibonacci tool here in this circumstance because I had other levels around here that were safe levels to go hunt on NQ as well as on ES. So guys, that's basically the main concept of the strategy. Once again, as I mentioned in the first video, try to find every single reason not to take a trade. I wish I could have had an example here of the midpoint. But here, let's say you could have entered around here, but there's not a lot of space for you to enter here on the midpoint and to go hunt the end of the range. And yeah, it would have been difficult, but there is a lot of other examples that you might see me trade when I post on my IG. You'll probably see that I mentioned the mid-range quite a lot. So it's too bad that this day didn't have, well, maybe we can go check as we have time here. Maybe we can go check like a different day and see if we would have had like a mid-range sort of trade. Here, it doesn't look like we did. But I wish I could have showed you guys a sort of an example here. Here was a very complicated day. It was almost a barcoding day. But did price come and touch the mid C? Yeah, it's kind of difficult. I couldn't find an example for you guys now, but just take the midpoint as an important area of the range. It's a very, very important area. Price likes to bounce off of it. Like, for example, here, it did. It came up, it bounced off of it. But then which kind of area are you looking for? Like the most relevant area you're looking for once it taps in here would be the end of the range. But even though that looks very promising, like here it looks very promising, in real time, you're still going to want to wait for confirmation. You're still going to want to wait for price to kind of hover around and then see another candle go towards the downside. And then that's when you're taking your confirmation. That's when you're taking your trade because you've confirmed that, yes, it's definitely reacted. Here, this is a 1 minute candle reacting to the midpoint. So it's just like boom, boom. It went really quick. Boom, boom, out. But it doesn't matter because look, we would have taken a trade around here and we would have aimed for higher lows in a different area, right? So yeah, so this is the visual of my strategy. I hope you guys, now that you have the visual, can go and back test this strategy a little bit more. Yes, this is one example, and I want you guys to go and trade different examples. So like go and test the both. So let's say you see here, let's say if price would have went up all the way to Asian highs, for example, and on ES, on NQ, we're kind of like we broke the range and we're going towards a promising area, but you see that ES is very close to Asian highs, you wouldn't enter and you'd wait for that liquidity or that liquidity sweep, or you're waiting for, let's say, if price does break Asian highs, then we can go and hunt. Let's say if there's previous day highs here, then you want to go hunt those previous day highs on NQ, right? So you want to go and back test this as much as you can. Look for liquidity sweeps and always look on both NQ and ES for you to confirm trade. Actually, why not? Monday, first thing, let's say you enter the charts and you want to trade, paper trade or whatever. Test it out. Test it out on paper trading first. Test it out. See how it goes, how it works. If those levels do get respected, and just test it out for yourselves. Like I'm not telling you guys to go buy yourself an account right now and just start trading my strategy without actually testing it. I want you guys to test it. You need to test the strategy because you need to know what levels are more likely to get hit or more likely to be reacted to. And you know, like there's sometimes where, let's say, look, ES, there's a reason why on NQ it reacted like this. And it's because ES did the same, right? It reacted, boom, hit the midpoint, and then went down. So there's reasons why you see. Actually, now that I saw it, you guys, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, yeah. Okay, no, this is the 5 minutes, so never mind. But you know what I mean? Like there's the opening range, for example, acts as support and resistance. So it's going to be, sometimes it's going to go back and forth into this area before it breaks. Then when it breaks, you wait for a little retest and then go. But watch your levels. Once again, watch previous session highs and lows and previous day session highs and lows. Test it out, please, please. I'm begging you guys. Test it out, journal it, see what's going wrong, if you're missing something, and if ever you guys have any questions whatsoever, I have my IG, or comment on the videos as well. Like comment on the videos, don't be shy. I'll reach out to absolutely everybody that comments. And on my DMs on IG, I respond very quickly. So don't be afraid to ask, right? If there's something missing, if there's something you didn't understand exactly, I could have a personal call with you guys, or I can explain it to you guys the best way possible, right? Because it's my strategy, it's my proven strategy. I did it. I obviously I didn't invent the orb, but I basically I've tested the orb in different sort of ways as possible, and I've seen what's worked for me, and that's why I say it's my proven strategy, because I built it on my own terms, right? Of whatever I've studied and whatever I've back tested. And I want you guys to do exactly the same, right? Don't take my strategy and do exactly the same thing. If there's something that you see that might be better or might be, you know, like You guys do your thing. Like, do your thing. I'm just giving you a main concept and main ideas of where you guys can base yourself off, and for you guys to go and search that strategy that works for you, right? Because maybe this liquidity sweep thing is not working for you. Maybe the midpoint is something like you're kind of scared of. You don't want to risk anything about, like, do your thing, do your thing, right? Or maybe you're just really okay. I really see a break. I'm gonna go hunt for anything, right? I'm just gonna go look for like a 30-point move. Like, great, there you go. You would have got your 30-point move. You would have put your stop loss at around like 17. This is what I usually would have done beforehand if I didn't take in all these levels into consideration, right? There was a level here, there was a low there, right? But that's because sometimes in these sort of areas I used to enter and I would get faked out. And that's because I wasn't checking ES. You guys know what I mean, right? So back test it, um, check it on by yourselves, add what you need to add, remove what you need to remove, and make it your own strategy, right? So I'm not telling you guys come on here and copy exactly my strategy. Find your own sort of thing that uh, you want to work with. So that's it for the second video of the series. That's it. That is it. Um, Once again, if there's any questions, the comments are there. My Instagram page is YouTube on my YouTube channel. You guys can see, you can check it out. I have a Discord as well. You guys can go check that out. I usually post different things. My TikTok is not usually, it's about trading, yes, but it's more about discipline in trading. So, and sort of like motivational sort of posts that I put out there with very, very important messages, right? So I put the messages at the bottom of the post, and they're really important. So I don't really put my progress on my TikTok. But if you guys use TikTok, you can ask me questions on my TikTok as well. I also have my email on my YouTube, so just guys, don't be shy to ask me anywhere. I'll respond. And if you guys want to organize personal calls, I'm there for it. I'm not charging anybody. I'm not chart. Look, I'm giving you guys free tea here. I'm giving you guys my strategy completely free for you guys to go check it out. I'm not charging anybody at all. I don't like to do that. Um, so yeah. All right. So I'm ending on that note. Uh, Good luck. Test the strategy. Ask questions. And take care, everybody. Take care.